Hey guys, CryptJ1958 here, coming at you with a Destiny Hero deck profile. I've been really excited for this deck ever since they were revealed in Dark Neostorm. So let me just jump into it here. We'll go over kind of what the deck does and the win con. It's pretty fun. I took it to locals last night, and we do 4 Swiss rounds. I ended up going 2 and 2. I really only lost out to an Altergeist player that ran cheeky tech like Necrofusion and Quintet Magician blowing up my field, and then a Salamangreat player who just kept negating all of my stuff before I could get it going. And then I won out against Dragoonides, and then another low tier deck here. It's pretty fun. Let's get into the monster lineup here. So, starting out, 3 of the new draw hand. Really good card. Really helps the consistency of the deck here. What it does is when it's special summoned by the effect of a Destiny Hero monster, both you and your opponent draw a card. And then the standby phase, the turn after it's sent to the graveyard, it can special summon itself and get the draw effect as well. So if you play it right within a turn, you can get 2 draws just off of it. It is a hard once per turn, but it still helps the consistency quite a bit. I'm running 3 Dogma and 3 Plasma. That will make a little bit more sense when we get into the rest of the deck. They are really good cards, and it's really not hard to get 3 monsters onto the field to special summon them. Plasma is basically a walking skill drain, and Dogma is similar to the Time Lord that halves your opponent's life points. Basically, if you get him on the field and he's still on your field when your opponent's turn comes around, their life points are halved. So, really good cards there. Another card, so now we're getting into the 2 ofs. I am running 2 Disc Commander. He has been errated, so he's a hard once per duel. But when he is special summoned from the graveyard, except for on the turn he was sent there, you get to draw 2 cards, and that is a hard once per duel. But because we have so many ways of special summoning from the graveyard to get our draws, it really helps. You only want to run him at 2 just because you don't want to see him too much because he doesn't do a whole lot unless he's dumped to the graveyard, and we do have other ways of dumping him to the graveyard. Then I'm running 2 Drill Dark. He does piercing damage, as well as when he is normal summoned or special summoned, he can special summon a Destiny Hero from your hand, and that works with attack equal to or less than his, so you can even bring out Malicious or your draw hand to get that draw off. That's another way. So you normal summon Drill Dark, bring out draw hand, get the draw, link off, and then on the standby phase of your opponent's turn, bring back draw hand and get it a second draw. And then speaking of, we're running the 2 Malicious, and that actually rounds up our Destiny Hero lineup. Now we're going to get into our win con here. We got Exodia. So that's basically what the deck does. We're just going to be drawing a crap load of cards, and then with some of the new support, we're able to get some big beaters out or protect ourselves pretty well as getting our draws. Really fun. Probably one of the most satisfying things in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is being able to Exodia your opponent when they don't know what's coming, or even if they know what's coming and they're trying to stop you and you pull it off anyway. It's so much fun. Now let's get into our spells. So we're getting the new Destiny Fusion card. It lets you fusion summon from the deck. You can use monsters from your hand or in your deck to fusion summon. And we're going to be going into a couple different main monsters. The only drawback is the turn after it's fusion summoned, on the end phase, it gets destroyed. So you bring out a beater on your turn, your opponent deals with it, or if they can't get over it, as soon as they do their end phase, it gets sent to the graveyard. Which isn't that big of a drawback, because a lot of the good Destiny Hero fusion monsters have some sort of floating effect or revival effect, which is pretty nice. Now let's get into our draw power. 3 Destiny Draw, 3 Allure of Darkness because everything is dark, Trade In, which is why we run so many Plasma and Dogma, and then the Bamboo Engine, 3 Cursed, 3 Golden, 1 Broken, and then just a 1-day apiece. That's decent stall card if you open it up pretty early, and that actually rounds up the deck. The Broken Bamboo is actually really good because of the drawback to Fusion Destiny. So basically, if all you have is a Broken Bamboo and maybe a Cursed Bamboo or 2 Cursed Bamboo, you make your Fusion monster, put the Cursed Bamboo on it. When it gets destroyed, you search your Golden, and then on your turn, you just go off from there. Let's get into our extra deck here. So starting out, we're going to be using 3 of the new Destiny Hero Dominants. He is fusion summoned using 3 Destiny Hero monsters. So normally what I'll do is I will, depending on what I have in hand, I will send for sure Disc Commander and Draw Guy, or Draw Hand. That was the OCG name, is Draw Hand, and either Malicious or Drill Dark. Because if he is destroyed by battle or card effect, he special summons 3 Destiny Heroes from your graveyard. So he's usually the one I go into, because if he gets destroyed by battle through my opponent's turn, I get to special summon my draw cards. Or if he is, just pop because of Fusion Destiny because they end their turn, I still get my draw cards. If I do have, something like a Malicious in my hand, and I don't want to get the one out of the deck, I'll send Drill Dark, because when I special summon Drill Dark, I'll get that Malicious out of my hand, and then I can start linking up. His Dominance guys has a couple different effects. His just on destruction effect is one of the main ones we like, but he has 2 more, and they're pretty important as well, although some of them you don't get to use very often. He has the ability to let you look at the top 5 cards of either your deck or your opponent's deck and put them in any order you want. So you can disrupt your opponent. Usually what we're doing is we're stacking the top of our deck to make sure that if we use a draw card, we're drawing into more draw cards, so we can just keep going. And then if he does destroy a monster by battle, and it goes to the graveyard, which is the important part, you do get another draw just off of him. So he does really good that way. So then I'm running 2 Dystopia, with a couple other cards that we're going to go through in the extra deck. We actually get his full effect open when he is special summoned. And that's special summon, not just fusion summoned. You can target a level 4 or lower Destiny Hero in your graveyard and burn your opponent for the attack points of that monster. And all of our level 4 monsters are 1600, so we're doing 1600 to the face. And then if his attack is different than his original during either player's turn, let's see, let me find it exactly. You can target 1 card on the field and destroy it, and if you do, this card's attack becomes equal to that card's original attack. So you can destroy monsters, and he gains even more attack points, or however you want to do that. And then I'm running 1 Dusktopia. I don't go into him very often. His effect is a little... He's a protection effect. Decent beater, but he requires a Destiny Hero Fusion monster already. And yeah, just a little bit difficult to go into him to begin with, but if you can get him out, he does pretty well. Then I'm running 2 Destiny and Dragoons. I really like this card because pop a card and burn your opponent for the attack of that card, and then you can't do your battle phase, but if they have, something that's 3,500, you burn them for 3,500 attack, and then, yeah, that's just, you can't do anything else, but that's a lot of damage all in one. And then when he is in the graveyard during your standby phase, you can banish a Destiny Hero monster and special summon him back to the field and just kind of keep going, so he's really difficult to deal with. I'm running one dangerous. Basically, he's just a power-up, but you can... I really only go into him if I need to dump a Drill Dark, or not a Drill Dark, a Draw Hand into the graveyard to start drawing, because I mean he's a decent beater. He has 2,600 defense, so he can defend pretty well, but he's not as useful as some of the other ones, which is why I only run him at 1. But he still does his job when you need him. And that takes care of the fusions. So the links, I'm only running 1 I sold, and that's just because we're only running 2 different equip cards with different names, so we can't even resolve the special summon effect, but the search effect is really nice. So, trying to think of a... basically, if all you have in your hand is Exodia pieces and, say, an Allure of Darkness, and you don't want to just rip the Allure of Darkness and risk banishing one of your pieces, and you have 2 Destiny Hero monsters on the field, go into I Sold, grab one of your warrior monsters, and then you can use your Allure of Darkness and go off that way. It's pretty situational. I really don't go into her very often, just because some of the cards we have left are kind of a lot better, but in those rare situations, she does pretty well. I may look into a few other cards and see what I can do there, but for right now, she does pretty well. And then one of my favorite new cards is Extra Hero Cross Crusader. He just requires 2 warrior monsters, and then when he is link summoned, he can special summon 1 Destiny Hero monster from your grave, which is really nice because it doesn't specify anything other than Destiny Hero. So if your dominance is in the grave, and then you make him, you bring your dominance back, and you have your dominance back on the field. So if your opponent destroys it again, you just start your field swarm all over again and go from there. His other effect is he can tribute a hero monster. Let's see. Let me make sure I'm reading this right. I don't use that effect very often. Tribute 1 Destiny Hero monster and add 1 hero monster with a different name from your deck to your hand. So again, it helps you add cards to your hand to keep your draws going, but I haven't run into that too much. The biggest issue I have with him is Effective Veiler is a thing, and at my locals, Ghost Ogre is a thing. So I either get him out and he gets Veilered and he's just there, or I get him out, I go to summon, and he gets blown up, which isn't terrible, but for the next card, we kind of want to keep him on the field. One of the next link card we have is one that was kind of overlooked, just because its effect isn't great, but in this deck it works pretty well, and that is Extra Hero Dread Decimator. Basically, any hero monster he points to gains 100 attack for each hero with a different name in the graveyard. And since we're basically dumping a ton of stuff into the graveyard to get our draws, if we do, need late game, we do need to switch to like a beatdown, or somebody randomly plays card destruction and gets rid of one of your pieces, or whatever the situation is, you go into Cross Crusader, bring back your dominance, use one of your other Destiny heroes on the field to use him at Cross Crusader to go into Dread Decimator, and you pretty much have a decent beater there. If you have already resolved Dominance's effect, and you have enough monsters on the field, and you can kind of go into more, or say you have a Drill Dark and another monster in your hand that you can summon, you can actually get like Dystopia and Dominance, plus a second Cross Crusader and Decimator all on the field at once, and you can be hitting for upwards of 7,000 to 8,000 damage just off of those those 4 monsters. So if you need to, you can switch it down to a beatdown. That's kind of one of the reasons I like the deck, is because, yeah, your main win con is Exodia, but if you need to, you have stall cards, you have removal, you have beatdown cards. There's a lot you can do. I have a lot of fun with it, and the people at my locals didn't like it. I got a few dirty looks, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, that's my Destiny Hero Exodia deck profile. A lot of fun to play, and for the most part, with the legendary hero decks, a lot of these cards, a lot of the Destiny hero cards come in it. So it's pretty budget. I actually went out of the way to try to find the highest rarity of everything. I'm still missing a few things here and there, but I know one day a piece is just a couple dollars. Sadly, the most expensive thing in it is going to be the Cursed Bamboo. For some reason, that card is just like, even the lowest price I found on it was like $4 just for one copy. So, but compared this deck, you could probably pick everything up for $50 to $60, depending. If you're buying singles, or if you just buy a couple of the legendary hero decks and then the remaining stuff that you're missing, you could probably get it for anywhere from 50 to maybe 70 max, which really isn't bad, because some of the higher end decks can run you a couple $100. So it's pretty budget. It's a lot of fun. It's mostly casual. You probably won't be taking it to any like YCSs or anything, but a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a deck profile. Let me know what you guys think. I'm looking into maybe switching out the Isold and the Dusktopia, since I don't really go into them very often. If you have any ideas on what I might be able to switch those out for, let me know. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Remember to like, subscribe. Let's keep sharing this, and let's keep growing the channel. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day.